Hello Anime America fans. Look, I gotta make this really quick. I don't think Robyn's realised that I've taken over her channel yet. Okay. Well, while I've got your time, I need your help. I desperately need your help. Now, you see, this is my friend Tohu. Now, Tohu is from Thailand. Where specifically, you may be asking? Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, and there you go. Mahenoor village. It's remarkably rural, and healthcare is really hard to get, which is unfortunate for Tohu, because she suffers from a rare kidney disease. Now, this kidney disease is curable with desperate surgery. And how are we going to get that surgery? We need to raise $11,000. We're almost there, guys. We're $5,000 done. We're that close to saving this young lady's life. Now, I need your help. Please donate below, the link's just there. Our GoFundMe campaign is powering through. Any money you can give will go a long way to saving this young lady's life. Please help, please be generous, and I'll go. I think Robyn just got home. Alright, I'll see you later, guys. Almost forgot Ebola.
Guess who's back? After about 4 weeks of holding up in the realm of academia, I have finally have my degree! Aw, yeah. Feels so good. Anyway, welcome to the program, every person and thing out there in the cosmos. Today I got a request from... Le Gasp! It's Misa Amane. You know, that one. Pigtails. Singer. Always wanted to be lit from the light, if you know what I'm saying. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Now, this is normally the part where I ease you lovely viewers into a cool segue, but I got nothing. Like, nothing comes to mind. My heart is still on board the Graduation Nation train, where the party does not stop. Woo-hoo! Until the cops show up. So we will just move it right along, shall we? Here is the Spring 2016 Comedy School Life anime. Haven't you heard I'm Sakamoto? Or Sakamoto Desuka? Yes, I heard. Oh, and just before I forget, thanks Robyn for helping me out with this video.
Alright, there, according to this script, she wants me to say something funny here. So, okay, here we go. Something funny.
Jeez!
Damn it, Sumi!
Eat me.
Sophisticated, suave, sublime. All words would describe the exceedingly handsome and patently perfect Sakamoto. Though it is only his first day in high school, his attractiveness, intelligence, and charm already has the girl swooning, and the guys fuming with jealousy. No one seems to be able to derail him, as well as attempts to tripping him up quickly are foiled. His sang-froid is indomitable, his wits peerless. Will any of Sakamoto's classmates or even teachers be able to reach his level of excellence? Nope! But they might as well learn a thing or two by trying. So, we have a story about a perfect character doing everything in the coolest way possible. On paper, that idea didn't seem to hold water to me as first impressions are in order. Though if the One Punch Man hype train has taught us anything, it's that A, mosquitoes are the biggest threat to society, and B, execution is king. And to eat a sandwich because everything will work itself out in the writing room eventually. Sakamoto Desuka, in short, works for the goal it was wanting to accomplish, being an absurdist short joyride for one of the coolest guys around. I like how the show distracts me with its unique, only in Japan type of humor. As a whole, Sakamoto Desuka is structured in a character of the week type of format. Every episode, a side character tries to ruin Sakamoto's day. Their plans are foiled, only to suffer the consequences of falling for that sweet aura. I was going to say aura. The humor was fast-paced. I never felt it dragged itself out, mostly because, again, a lot of the jokes were so bizarre I never had the time to feel dragged by it. Is the comedic style for everyone? No. It was way too weird to be considered normal slapstick or tongue-in-cheek, but that's fine with me. The what the Japan humor is unique, and unique, weird humor hits me right in my personal pleasure centers. Similar to the humor in Chromatic High School or Prison School respectively. It's like all these schools are right next door to each other, am I right? So if you don't get it, that's also completely fine. And because of that, I'm really glad it kept to its short 12 episode running time. If I had to make a list of 10 anime that really worked well in this modern era of short run times and seasonal shifts, it's this anime because it utilizes all the time it has to its fullest. If this was a 26 episode anime, Sakamoto's cool routine would bore me honestly after a while. Though playing devil's advocate, it also sheds to light a flaw that could plague such a format: the loss of potential. As much as I was enjoying this anime, there were times I kept going, you know, I wish they banked on this part, or that part of the show, yada yada yada. If put in an analogy, 12 episodes to anime is like store-bought bananas are to a kitchen counter. They are sweet and good to eat the moment you eat them, but the longer you let them sit out, the bananas quickly spoil. Maybe in hindsight, I was getting so used to the anime's direction that I kinda wish it changed things up, which it did, but not until the end. Or maybe it's because it waits till the end of the series to hit me at a theory only to leave me hanging. No, breathe, Shannen. We will save that for later. Ultimately, after the first watch, I really don't feel a need to rewatch it again, even for as much as I enjoyed it during its airtime. I mean, I liked it waiting for it to air week by week, though would not watch it in one sitting knowing it's going to be over that quickly. It's hard for me to explain this feeling, but maybe in the next section it'll come to me. Actually, no. Let's clarify this section and talk about the one character we've heard all the livelong day: Sakamoto. I mean, the anime directly asks you that question. So after some deep thinking, I decided that because the show hinges so much on our poster child, talking about anyone else could ruin the point of watching the show for the jokes or anything else. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Sakamoto, I can say, is not a wasted poster child by any sense. These people, this school, and his entire world revolves around him. He can make anything bedazzle with his signature brand of coolness, solely just by being there. I also like the fact that he's not being this cool guy for the sake of anyone else, and rather enjoying every day to the fullest. But what I think I like best about this perfect character is not what we see, but more of what we don't. Sakamoto is a very mysterious character. Sure, we know some basics. He's kind to others, breaks the rules for the sake of a baby bird. Heck, he even saved his friend's mom by distracting the other guys with curtain boobs. Say it with me now. Curtain boobs. But anything more personable about the character is left up to the wind for our little minds to panic about. Now, those who have watched this can say that the lack of character is to its benefit, since it puts a better foundation for the jokes, the absurdist environment, and the ending as a whole. But while I agree with the ending and the jokes, I kinda wanted to know something more about the origins of his absurdist cool nature. To me, it makes him plainer otherwise. I mean, I guess my thinking process is the point to his mystique, but taking all that coolness away and you have just another popular Shonen character who could do no wrong. On paper, it shouldn't be this fun to watch him. But like I said before, execution is king! I couldn't say it any clearer myself. Wow, this section is short. It's normally not this short. I got an idea. Hey Robyn, put a scene about Pizza Rat and we'll call it a day.
Okay.
Live your best life.
Sakamoto's presentation was on point. Okay, that sums up the whole section. Let's move on. Okay, I'm just kidding. Let's start with the studio. Studio Dean is at it again, people. Oh yeah! Not my favorite animation studio, mind you, but one I can say really knows how to time things in the series. From other works like Sankareya, the Italia franchise, Showa Genroku Rakano Shinju, Konosuba, and Fruits Basket, I believe they do a really good job in conveying the style of an adaptation. The visual humor, more than not, was Sakamoto's mainstay in that what the f bubble of weird. And if it wasn't executed right, I feel like the show would have been an awkward mess. But thankfully that wasn't the case. But from the original PVs before the series airs, I didn't have any doubts regardless. My only animation nitpick is that I wish Sakamoto himself didn't have that generic Japanese high schooler design that I see in so many many anime. Look, I get the point. It works for his absurd reasons. That if he looked like an absurd character from the get-go, the weird nature wouldn't have been as impactful. It would have been an aspect about the character we would have had expected and coped with. Sakamoto is a character who's mysterious, so generic works to keep things off kilter. It just... something I innately get tired of from seeing, honestly, and design-wise. So, just honestly don't mind me. What is a surprise is that the series has no dub, but you know, I kinda prefer it this way. Honestly, Sakamoto would lose what made it special if the series was localized. That only in Japan vibe wouldn't hit as hard, the characters wouldn't be so off kilter, and the show would feel slower in pacing. A good example on when and when not to dub a show is a perfect example here, even if it means losing in popularity. However, its Sentai Filmworks were the ones with the rights to Sakamoto, and relying on them to dub a show is like flipping a coin and watching it land on its side. It's a rare occurrence, so most likely it wasn't going to happen anyway. Finally, we come to the opening and ending. Give you a moment, I'm going to need a few minutes. I mean, yeah, you could say the opening passes in my judgment. Not being spaghetti here. The ending, however, is on a different story entirely. A story that brings us to our next segment. Hit it, Robyn!
Wait, what am I doing? Well, don't give me that look, you little sphincter.
Welcome to After Show, the spoiler section in my reviews where I lift off the hand of criticism and throw down the hand of fangirling. This section is for those who have already finished the series. So without further ado, this is your final spoiler warning. Also, the following theory is not originally created by me. In fact, it's been a theory a lot of people have gone through over and over and over again. Nor has any of this information ever been confirmed by the mangaka. Now then, to the theory cave! Okay folks, if you have been on the Reddit or the forum pages, then you would know this theory already. But man, between the manga's clues, the ending theme, and the last 2 episodes leaving little messages here and there, all I can say is, good game, Nami Sano, original creator of Sakamoto Desuka. Good f***ing game. So to be honest, there's 2 theories concerning Sakamoto's motives and origins behind the show, but I only will be focusing on one of them. Theory A, Sakamoto is an alien from outer space. This easily could explain how he can radiate with so many people in such a bizarre fashion, and the unaired 13th episode supports this theory. But, first off, I really don't like the 13th episode with a passion, because it ruins what was otherwise a really great ending, only to be a second thought that was mostly forgotten. And secondly, much of Sakamoto's surroundings are also self-directed with bizarre motivations. It's not as strong when Sakamoto's in the picture, but that it's a natural phenomena. Thus brings us to the main theory up for discussion, in that Sakamoto only has 1 year left to live. Let's look at the hintings to this, shall we? Clue numero uno, the anime. Haven't you ever wondered that Sakamoto pays a visit to the infirmary a lot? It's not just in the later episodes when he mentions about not knowing the exact number of holes in the infirmary ceiling, but he's there multiple times to check on his own health. Pretty peculiar for a normal high school student. Speaking of students, the theory suggests that one reason Sakamoto can do all these normal things in such an exaggerated way is either because as someone who is normally ill and able to finally spend some time being in everyday life, this is all an allegory as he gets the chance to live his life to the fullest, enjoying his last year alive. Or that he isn't actually doing any of these things in such an exaggerated manner, but that everybody around him is superimposing what they think he's actually doing, and they are just focusing on the fact that he's super hot. But the latter reasoning might not hold so much ground since a lot of the boys in the show contradict this logic. But the strongest evidence in terms of the anime regards the ending. It's the end of the school year and Sakamoto makes a last minute announcement that he intends to leave the school because he is accepted for a super special NASA program in America, and the following goodbye session follows. It's only then as he leaves the campus that Captain Ponytail over here stops him to expose Sakamoto in his blatant lie. He isn't actually going to NASA or America, nor does he tell us what he's going to do from that point onward, but still carries on with a very heartfelt look of emotion as he leaves, high-crusted and all. It's a very well done ending. Okay, you could say that it's just adding more mystique to the man known as Sakamoto, but you have to ask yourself why the original creator put those little tidbits in the first place. Was it just to dangle the golden spoon of potential in our faces, or is there something more? It would explain why he doesn't want anyone learning too much about him, his name, his emotions, or what his family is like. Otherwise, people would be depressed of his timely death door. There's also something interesting to be discovered from the other people who have supported this theory before on Reddit. A link in the description below will be provided to look at that page. I highly recommend it for anyone who loves theories and other junk like this. In episode 10, Sakamoto is singing a very peculiar German karaoke song during his mixer escapade. And now there's some deep digging in the realms of the internet. The Redditors found that the song was related heavily to death. So basically the song is about a father protecting his son from a grave illness that was cast upon him by the god of death himself from the very beginning. He did this to try to make the boy very unconscious and make him hallucinate in order for the god of death to communicate to him, and in this case play with him. After all those times the kid played with the devil, he eventually died. So to put simply, the song could be an allegory for Sakamoto's family failing to find a cure for some unknown illness, and now is spending his last days on earth playing with death until his beckoning hour. I mean, have you counted how many times he's been in a dangerous situation? Yeah, your mind starts to go there when a theory gets way too plausible. Clue number 2. The opening and ending. Just like the anime, the ending has some relevance towards this theory. If you translated the title of the theme, it would be something on the lines of, "Goodbye on the day I lost." What's he saying goodbye to? What has he lost? His life, perhaps? And just because the opening song is so upbeat, doesn't mean that it escapes the theory, as it gives little Easter eggs about living in the face of devastating shortcomings. And in contrast to all the other clues we have talked about before, it's much more subtler in comparison. And finally, clue number 3, that manga page. Just look at it. Look at it and tell me, I dare you. Tell me you don't see what resembles a coffin MacGyvered from a locker. This is a chapter opener that correlates to the last episode of the anime, so you can't get more clue grabby than this. So, in the end, whether you believe this theory or not, I love this addition to the show regardless. It gives that needed potential I was originally hoping for, even if it's only a tiny taste. I personally want this theory to be true, but it doesn't hurt me at all too much if it isn't. Hence, once again, good job, Nami-sano, good job. Haven't You Heard I'm Sakamoto was one of the best comedy anime to come out last year. It's fun, bizarre humor that gave me personal giggles. Not to mention it has a very great ending. However, regardless of how you digest your 12-episode anime, sometimes I think that format is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it makes things short, sweet, and to the point, but it leaves a lot of holes for potential, even with all the mystique accounted for. As for the humor, it isn't for everyone, and once the show ended its original run, honestly, I felt like there wasn't anything worth going back to in terms of rewatchability, which is really weird. It was good, but something just makes me go, well, that's that. So after some consideration and 15 minutes running to the school gate only to baseball slide on the ground, just getting there at the nick of time, I award Sakamoto Desuka with the recommendation to try it before you buy it, and a watchability rating of PG-13. As much as I love this show, I couldn't give it the full buy for the sake that it doesn't have that rewatchability factor. I wanted to clarify heavily that a show is not going to automatically get a buy it if it has a rewatchability factor. It needs to be more than just a great time for the one time I was watching it. Hence why I feel that Sakamoto really thrives in this streaming age of anime. As for other recommendations, let's start off with a comedic spinoff to an already charming show. Handa-kun, the prequel to Barakamon that no one thought would exist. It follows a lot of the same beats as Sakamoto, but unlike the former, Honda is someone with a much more defined personality, a good contrast for those looking for that in Sakamoto. Next are the two anime that also fall along the same humor, but with their own flavors in Karate High School and Prison School respectively. Of course, if you're wanting a more down-to-earth weird experience with an eccentric protagonist, then look no further than the animes Tonari no Sekai-kun and Tanaka-kun wa Itsumu Kendaruge. Then again, you can never go wrong with some good old Nichijou, because why the heck not? Nichijou. And finally, the blind pick this time around is going to be the anime Saiki Kusuo, a short anime series about an Esper whose weird antics enchant the people around him. It couldn't have gotten more parallel if I do say so myself. So with all these in favor, I hope you find something you'll enjoy. We have now come full circle, so let's give a big round of applause to our players of today's video. Misa Amane, no not that one, who supported us on Patreon and made this video possible. Robyn, for helping me edit in this big pile of Patreon requests I keep getting. I feel so loved, thank you so much everyone. I also like to thank my cat Miles for always warming my bed when I'm lonely, and editing, and eating. Of course, we can never forget everybody at home watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Here's some homework. Share your favorite pasta recipes at home. Why pasta? Because I love pasta. And finally, the last person I want to thank is me for getting this degree for after 5 years. Woo! I feel on top of the world! Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a graduation celebration to get to. So, until next time, stay slippery, stay slimy, and stay tuned to Anime America. Shannen out!
Thanks again for watching. To keep you up to date with Anime America, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even Tumblr. The best way you can support this channel for free is by sharing this video with your friends, as well as liking this video. If you wish to support us financially, we have a Patreon page, posters for sale on Store Envy, and awesome t-shirts available on Teespring. Don't forget to subscribe to Anime America for more awesome videos that you'll get instantly if you click on the notification bell. We also have another channel called Pop Spectrum, where we review anything in pop culture. More awesome videos will be on the way, so stay tuned to Anime America.